Hello there. Welcome back to Vintage Story. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I was just doing a bit of chiseling, so I made a decorative chimney. You do this by making any other chimney and then just adding the chisel to it to turn it into a decorative one. And then I recreated the chimney using obviously chisel tools and a palette to have the black there. So what we can do is we can place this one on top of the chimney there, and as you see, it smokes. Place this on it so it has the correct texture, and it will match the chimney we have outside that we were building over the past, last episode. Oh, I made doors, so I can actually open it, actually put doors on the front of our base to keep stuff out. Maybe, except for the stuff that decides to spawn inside. But let's see, I wanted to do a little more chiseling here. Just to try to give it a bit more of a slope to it. I don't know why I did it all the way across. I have the pantoglyph on me specifically so I can copy paste. There. Okay. And then we can go to the top here. Place the decorative chimney down. I kind of want it the other way. I said the other way. Yeah, it's not going to place the other way. Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. I put this on it. Can I rotate it now? No, I can't rotate it. Oh well. That will have to be good enough. But now we have a smoking chimney. Maybe I'll slant... You know what? I might do that. Let's... There we go. Now we've got a nice, actually working chimney attached to the back of the house. It's a facade, obviously, but it looks a bit better. Yeah. And so that corresponds with the hearth we have inside. So it actually looks like it's doing something. The steel is coming along pretty good. I just refilled it a second or third time? Second time. Should be around 70%. Exactly 70%. So, yeah, this should be done before too long. See, these are the guys who keep... They're spawning inside. So even though I have a door on, they're still a nuisance. Alright, let me clean this up, and then I'll figure out what we're going to do next. Steel's done. We just need to mine this up. And we get 16 ingots of Blister Steel. And we also get our coffin back, so we can replace that. Oh. And as you can see, some of the bricks broke. That one's broken. Those two are broken. A few up here are broken. I'm pretty sure we can't refire it with broken bricks. So we are going to need to fix those before we make our next batch of steel. However, I don't know how much steel I'm actually going to be making. Now we have Blister Steel. Oh, and we got a bunch of charcoal back too, which is nice. We put 40 in, we got 32 back. Now with the Blister Steel, what we got to do is heat it up, same as you do with a iron bloom, and then hammer it on the... I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Hammer it on the anvil to turn it into steel. And then from there, we can make tools. So I'm going to be doing that off camera in a bit. But I also made up some of this stuff. Molybidacalcis, no idea. from the end of the spelling, it kind of makes me think of Greek. But this is made up with 8 to 12% copper. I use 10, and the rest lead. And what we can do with this isn't much, but we can turn it into some lanterns. And so I made up 4 ingots, so we can make up 2 more lanterns, so we can have 1 permanently in here, and then 1 in our kitchen, just so we have more lanterns. I'll spam a whole ton of ashlar that I didn't need. And since I'm doing everything apparently right now, we're also making up some calcinide flint chunks. Anyway, what we do with this is we grind it down in the quern, and that turns it into powdered flint, which we could then use to make fire clay, because I need to make a whole bunch more fire clay. I can't seem to find any, and our elk keeps escaping from his pen. But yeah, I need to make a whole bunch more fire clay. I missed. So we can make a whole bunch of glass, so we can turn this pen here into a greenhouse. And be able to grow some crops year-round, maybe. But yeah, I'm going to need a lot of fire bricks to make a lot of bloomeries to make the glass, because that's going to take a lot of glass. So I'm just tossing this in here, letting it grind down, go into the hoppers, and yeah, we'll come back to that later. It's going to take a while. Burning all the chalk is taking a while too. But yeah, that's a quick update. Kind of quick. Lot of hurry up and wait sort of stuff. Like, I went out, I collected a bunch of chalk, and I collected up a whole bunch of brown coal, so we can cook this up, since the brown coal burns pretty long. I put 47 in there, and I've already done almost a stack and a half, and there's still 24 left. So yeah, the brown coal is lasting quite a while for this process. But yeah, went out, got the brown coal for that, got the chalk for that, went out and collected a whole bunch of blue clay to turn into fire clay, and I just have to wait for the processes to finish up. I have not started chiseling the table yet. I did, however, go and cook up a whole lot more food, because I was running out. And I also... So when I have culinary artillery installed, don't really use the meat smoker all that much, because, well, the smoked bush meat is useful, but it's not as useful. But with primitive survival installed, the smoked bush meat can be used in meat stew, something that you can't do with normal bush meat. So I can use this to make meat stew, and now I've got use for our bushmeat, so that's nice. Gonna be doing that a bit more often now, so that I'm not wasting the smoked beef, smoked bushmeat. All right, let's fire up the blister steel. So once this is hot, we can turn it into actual steel. But while that's heating up, let's do a bit of this. We've got a whole ton of blue clay, and when we combine it with the powdered flint, we can turn this all into fire clay. And then from here, we can make all the fire clay bricks we're going to need, hopefully, for quite a while. Also have these ready. So if we just do that, we've got 2 new lanterns. And these can go in the kitchen, and actually one can go in here. Okay, it can go on the floor for now. But now it's going to be nice and lit in here, and I did make a sifting hole so I can sift easier instead of, well, going out to the water, because I didn't have a nice place to sift bony soil until now. And admittedly, it's not exactly a great spot either, but it's better than what I had, which was nothing. So, you know. And the blister steel is ready. So we put this on, and just like with the iron bloom, it has some of these spots that are dark. I think they're supposed to be slag. And we just hammer off them and then the extra bits. And now we've got a piece of steel. So we just got to do this once for each ingot. And yep, it does take off the slag bits if they are touching. So this piece was actually real easy. And then this one also. And then we just toss them back in there, heat them up a bit more, and actually make some steel tools. Let's make a hammer, since I'm always needing more hammers. Don't really need to worry about a steel pickaxe. I mean, it's useful, don't get me wrong. Most weapons, I'm going to stick with the meteoric iron. I forgot what it was called for a moment. And most normal tools, I'm not going to worry too much about making steel. But for some of them, it'll be nice to have meteoric. I'm definitely going to need a steel chisel, because then we can make the QP's True Chisel. And that is better than the standard QP chisel from the QP chisel mod, because the True Chisel does not require a hammer. Or at least it didn't last time I made it. He has made quite a few changes to the mod. I actually have not updated the mod in a little while, so I should probably do that next time I restart the game. But yeah, the steel chisel can be turned into the True Chisel, and no, the recipe consumes the hammer. Okay, so when I make this, I need to make a steel hammer. So let's make a second steel hammer. I'm going to need a hammer for it anyway. I might as well make another one, right? But because it consumes the hammer, then you don't need a hammer in your offhand anymore. So it's two tools in one. And then I think I was also going to make the steel pantoglyph, the other QP chisel tool that I use the absolute most of anything else in this mod. Not going to worry about, like I said, weapons or armor. They're not important enough to me. The meteoric iron does well enough as it is. There we go. And you know, the benefit of having this over here is I can now toss my stuff in there. Didn't toss it far enough. And let it cool down so I don't need the tongs anymore. But there we go. Now we've got our first steel tools. Well, technically. And we've got a bit extra blister steel. We have a new light source, so it's nice and lit up in here. And plenty of fire clay. So actually what I need to do next is go out and go get a bunch more peat so I can fire up all of our fire clay and bake it off. The Great Fire Clay Bake Off, not to be confused with the Great English Bake Off. Place this there. And get rid of that. Does that work? That works. This wall needs something, but this is looking better. I like this here. So yeah, let's go find some peat and then fire up the fire clay. So we got our glass finishing up right now. I've got 5 bloomeries going. So let's start planning out our actual greenhouse. Maximum interior volume must be 14 by 14 by 14. This is 10 wide. And this should be 14. So we're going to need to cut across here. I didn't grab an axe. And this is why I didn't till any of the high fertility soil. I wanted to figure out exactly what I was going to do first with the greenhouse before we do that. Because if I have to dig any of this up, if we till it, we lose it. That's 14. So we want to cut across here. And toss some bricks down just to note it. So this area in here is going to be the greenhouse. We are going to use glass slabs for the walls. And probably a combination of slabs and blocks for the roof. But they're all going to be chiseled so that they are practically invisible. I do have a few glass in my house. I can show you what we're planning. So let's make up a few slabs quickly. And we're going to want these placed so that the inside wall is going to be the flush part. So everything's going to be lined up so that the glass is facing inwards. And we just take our chisel, turn it invisible. This one we need to cut in half again, so it's just a corner. And that's going to be the main idea. And what we're also going to want to do, so I keep forgetting to grab everything, we're going to have a bunch of supports, and we're going to frame it with the supports. So if I click that there, we can come up like that. And so we'll have the supports coming up, we'll have supports going across, and we're going to have the glass framed in wood from the supports to, well, one, so you could actually see the shape, because, I mean, otherwise, it's a little hard to tell there's anything there. And, yeah, it's the basic idea. Let's see. There's 5 that way, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, so I didn't give this a true middle. If I expand this out one more, it's not going to be the same size as that one, so it's going to be slightly annoying. But then I can put a middle row down the center and have that be a path for accessing the entire build. So let's say we do it here, right? Spend this all out one this way. We'd have to push the road out and everything else. Or I could just make do. Have one side be 5 and have one side be 4. No, I'd rather have them both be odd. Alright, well, that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, it's a lot of hurry up and wait. Oh, those are finally done. So that'll give me the glass I need. Just need to grab my tongs. I do like that you get the blocks back. And I should note, with the blast furnace here, not blast furnace, the cementation furnace, you should get, you get refractory bricks back when these damaged one, when some of them get damaged from just operation. So you can recycle your bricks. And obviously you'll get back whatever tier you put in. So if we made tier 2 blocks and it's a tier 2 block that broke, we would get tier 2 bricks back. Okay, I'm going to work on the greenhouse a bit off camera. And I'll bring you back in when I have a little more progress. A little more progress to show. All right, I'm not going to chisel all these just yet so we can actually see where the walls are while I'm working. But now I've got dirt up here for now, simply so I have a block I can see while I'm chiseling. I don't want to do a 45-degree angle slope because we're 11, technically including the edges, 13 blocks wide. That would be a very tall peak. So we're doing 2.5 by 1, right? Because we're going to start at this half of the block here to go in. So we do another 2.5 coming up. That'll put us in that corner. I'll have to have a block, and then this block here will come to a point about halfway up, and then we'll go down the other side. I only really need to chisel one side, and I could just copy paste to the other. But as you can see, I've laid out the ground in there a bit more. I'm not sure if I want to do the strips for the furrowed land like I did furrowed farmland like I did over there, or if I'm going to do it a little bit different. This is 3, but it does hydrate all of the, 12 around it. If I do it differently, like I put 1 there, it would hydrate the 9 touching it, and the ones on the outside will be less hydrated. So I'll probably just keep that, but it's a thought. Okay, so we're going to want to chisel all of these down. Yeah, see, this is where it gets difficult because I need to figure out the exact, like, the exact angle. Because we're doing 2.5. So, okay, let's do the math for this. Each block is 16 voxels wide, right? 16 voxels? Yeah, 16 voxels wide. So that's 16, that's 32, and then another half is 40. So we need 40 by 16. And we need to figure out how to angle that so that it is an even slope. Okay, so 40 divided by 3 is not equal. Well, it's technically 2.5. No, let's see. What's another way I can do this? Would it be 3, then 2, then 3, then 2? I don't think that works. Three, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. 3, 2, 3, 2. Let's clean this up a little bit more. No, that was 2. 3, 2. That's 3. That's 2. That's 3. That's 2. Actually, that is exactly what I needed. So we have 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm starving to death. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay. I don't know how I got that correct, but that's correct. And then we'll do that again for this block, or for this set of blocks. and fall off my little platform. And then, like I said, this has to come to a point. So we're going to have a little bit of a block here. And on this side here. Okay. Let me clean up all this. I'm going to need another chisel because this one will not last me the whole thing. But yeah. Wow. Awesome. The math actually helped me out there. Like I said, I gotta make another chisel. I was actually going to make the QP chisel. So actually, why don't we just do that quickly? We've got the steel chisel. We're going to need 2 hammers. It's going to consume 1 hammer, I think, and give me the second hammer back. Oh, it's 2 chisels and 1 hammer. Oh, well, in that case, I have to make another steel chisel. Okay, well, another task for me to do. Okay, that's done. Then we combine this plus the hammer. That gives us the True Chisel. It consumes both of the chisels and the hammer. And now, as I said, I have the True Chisel, which, unlike this chisel here, does not require a hammer. So if we run over back out here, as the light begins to fade on yet another day, I can now just chisel away. I don't need to worry about a hammer and killing durability on that. Okay. Yeah, so this is going to take a little while, but once I have these steps done, I'll just, like I said, copy paste them up here and then finish this part. Other benefit, of course, of the True Chisel is I can now actually have my lantern in my hand while I am chiseling. Oh, that's not going to quite work, is it? Because now I have to shift everything over by 1. I buy half. The slope is still going to work perfectly fine, but because I want this flat part to be up here now, I have to adjust this again. Okay, well, it will still work for this side. I just need to rotate it. And naturally, as I'm working on this, a temporal storm is coming. And I have 2 hours before this video has to air. So, yeah. I was hoping to finish this, but there's no way I can sit through a temporal storm and finish this and get the video out on time. So I'm going to end it here. Next episode, we're going to finish this and have, hopefully, a very nice looking greenhouse. Okay, on that note, let's go hide. So, thank you for joining me today. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And I'll see you next time. Later. Ooh, I didn't like that one. Later.